just big old auditorium, concert for the people.
Yeah.
Steve Araujo, we are, yeah, exactly. This is family time. We are in Leo's Lounge at G&L, and we have one of our really good friends, family member, Ed Friedland, aka the Bass Whisperer, hanging out with us today. We need to whisper now. How you doing, Ed? Thank you for being here, man. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Steve. Thanks for having me out.
Dude, always love chatting with you and getting basses to you and seeing what you're doing, and especially after the crazy year, but you kept busy. Which thankfully you kept playing and stuff.
Yeah, well, we didn't get to tour, but we did a lot of video last year, and so that was a great opportunity. I played a couple of. It was the first shot I had to play the Fallout bass was in some of those videos.
Nice.
And,
And if the audience isn't familiar, you're touring with
the Mavericks.
The Mavericks.
Grammy Award-winning The Mavericks.
Yes. For about 6 years, you said, right?
It's been 6 years.
6 years or so. Very cool. Did some in-house video stuff, but even before then, you were out touring. You've been playing G&Ls for.
Yeah, I've been playing G&Ls. Well, probably over 10 years.
Okay.
It's 2021 now, right?
Yes, it is.
So yeah, it's definitely over 10 years. I keep forgetting time goes on. Time goes on.
Yes.
But yes, I'm really into these instruments.
That's cool.
I look at all the various companies, because obviously I'm a gear guy, and I look at instruments and G&L consistently, like, I want everything. I want one of these. I want one of those. I want 3 of these.
Well, we can do that. We actually can take care of you on that. So the latest one, I remember we were chatting, and we had sent you a couple of the tribute Fallout and a USA Fallout short scale.
Yeah.
Really love the basses.
They're
but
great.
Your main bass is an L1K. Like that's your bread and butter.
That's what I've been touring with for at least for a while anyway.
Cool.
Yeah.
We'll hear you play one of those in a little bit too.
Yeah.
But you kind of dropped this in our ear, and we kind of put together a Fallout short scale bass that has 1K guts. That's basically an L1K Fallout short scale.
Yeah,
custom shop.
Yeah, essentially it's the same guts, just in a short scale package.
Yeah. So you got master volume, bass and treble cut,
bass treble cut only.
And then
the 3-way switch. The OMG single coil parallel, and the single knob on the original Fallout design. Obviously, that's what everybody, that's the design, pick up tone knob, the thing is, these MFDs are so rich. There's so much information coming off this pickup that it really helps me to be able to roll the lows off. People always think, I'm going to roll the highs off, but there's so much low end coming off this pickup, especially when I'm playing super high volume through a large rig. It's too much for the situation. So this really, I leave the volume straight up, and then I balance my levels with how much low end I bring in.
Well, you're introducing low end, you're introducing gain.
Yeah.
So it's gain structure. So you're using, it's awesome. You're using that cut only to actually back off a little gain, but still have that big body.
Right, and and my treble control is almost always, I got foam, I got the flat wounds. I'm not really looking for spank with my job with this band, The high end is there, but it's easy to just tamp it down a bit with some foam and flats, and and I run the tone almost completely off.
Wow, nice.
The treble anyway.
The treble, yeah.
And then leave the. It's nice. It's actually pretty pleasant. It gives you some. Gives you a little icing, but I'm playing a lot of
big fat, meat and potatoes.
Yeah, meat and potatoes, and I tend to roll it off, and especially this past year, the band recorded our album is in Espanol. The whole record is in Spanish, and there's we've always been kind of Latin influenced, but we're doing a lot of Latin stuff now.
Cool.
And
you
can get that.
It's like a baby bass. Well, you want that baby bass sound for sure.
And 90% of my gig with the Mavericks, I'm playing a baby bass.
That's so cool.
And so this thing, what I like is that I can get that from this.
Yeah.
If I need it, like let's say I got a problem with the instrument, and in fact that has happened.
Sure.
You know, once my baby bass got blown out of the stand on a cruise ship and it was out, and I played, in fact I played the next show, the bass was out. I played the entire show on the Fallout bass.
Oh my gosh,
because you know it could do it, and I had no choice, of course, but thankfully it did the job, you know, because you know.
Oh, dude, it sounds.
That's it. That's what I'm going for. I mean, the high end and the treble of the more modern bass sound it'll do that, you know, but it's not what I need from it, and I'm really happy with how thumpy this thing is, you know.
I think the MFD, I mean, does that so great. It really does.
Yeah, it just pumps so much information out that, you know, if you tamp down the highs, the lows are massive. And you know, I've always associated these instruments, G&Ls in particular, with like this clarity of and clean and clear kind of sound. And I was a little concerned, will it thump? And you know, when I demoed those 1Ks, the L1Ks he sent me, and the basswood one in particular just had this thump to it, and I said, all right, this is the one. This is it, because
that's cool.
That's great. And this, you know, this to me makes it just more useful to me in circumstances. There's things you can do with this kind of setup, like my 1K. I've used it in the studio as like a tic tac bass, you know, like in the Nashville tic tac thing, and the whole. I mean, you know, people get the bass 6 and all that, but you know, you can do it with a regular bass. You just got to cut all the lows, you know.
I think
so. I just put this through a guitar amp, run the lows completely off, and treble full out, and put it in parallel, muted with a pick,
and you get that transient. Perfect.
You know, like
sounds like lipstick pickups.
I mean, it's easier with a pick, but
but I think you made a good point with the MFDs. They do get all that information. They get all that sonic information, as opposed, you know, nothing wrong with Alnico, nothing wrong with any other pickups, but the MFDs have a thing, and it's just totally it's really good, and they're super versatile too. You know.
Well, and what I'm finding is that the volume level, that the output, it rivals most of the active basses that I've had. And frankly, you know, I mean, I love nothing against active basses, you know, but my world kind of went back a bit, and I kind of what I'm doing for Americana, you know, kind of country Americana roots stuff. You know, the aesthetic I think is more of a passive instrument, the tone. But still, when you're playing live at high volume with a really like a 9-piece band, it's very dynamic and loud. There's a lot of stuff going. This pickup, it's like this gives me a place. It's like you
fits in that sonic space. Perfectly.
You can't bury me with this. It supports, but it doesn't overpower, and I can get whatever texture I need. It's in there, and I like that it's all passive. You know, because the range of information that comes off of this thing is just outstanding.
That's awesome. Nice. And then you use a mute and use flat wounds to get that big sound.
Part of the mute is I mean, like, it's partly laziness because like I could do it this way, but I don't necessarily want to play this way the whole night. But I just like this because it tempers it a little bit. You know, again, it's it doesn't. This one is not like as drastic. It's not a huge.
It's
mute.
Subtle. It's subtle.
It's subtle, and it just dumbs it down just enough. If I need more, I can do that. You know, but
you go the Carol K route. I like that. Much respect. Shout out,
you know,
Carol K.
Get some duct tape over there. No, but I spun a little piece of foam.
That's cool. Yeah.
Just
a lot of different sounds from one pickup.
Three different personalities.
Yeah.
And the single coil actually, through a large rig is very powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely not wimpy at all.
No.
It stands by itself quite well.
Yeah.
It actually sounds a little bit more P bass-ish in a way, like the original 50s style.
The original P's, yeah.
But yeah, I'm just this bass is like my happy place now.
I'm so happy.
The Bel Air green, and the Tort.
Yeah.
But just the sound. I mean, like, it's there. It's totally there.
I'm glad we were able to put it together.
Thank you
and
so much.
fast. And
yes,
just expedited.
God, these guys, they turned this thing around in a couple of weeks.
Like, come on, let's do this.
I had this idea, like,
yeah.
And then
well, you were going on the road, so I was like, all right, we got to get this done.
I really appreciate that.
Man.
Yeah, and the response to people.
Yeah.
All anyone who cares about what my instrument sounds like has said something already.
No, a lot of people. So again, this is the custom shop, but this is definitely giving us a little bit of inspiration to possibly, who knows, a Fallout short scale L1K-ish thing,
Yeah.
Who knows? Might be rad.
No, it's a great idea.
So this is a tribute Fallout short scale bass. Mm-hmm. Now obviously this has round wound, so it's going to be a little bit different, but it still has great sound, man. I really like these basses, man.
I have one just like this at home, a tribute, and I actually, I hate to say that it's so close to the U.S. in most ways. You notice the neck. I mean, the custom neck has a different feel to it.
Yeah.
But like in terms of the guts are basically, I mean, everything's.
Well, for a one pickup short scale with this, I mean, it's versatile. It's crazy how versatile it is.
It's kind of astounding to me how good this is for what you're charging for it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, this is with the rounds is like in the parallel? Oh, that's
little standing.
Very little, like impossible. I can't play that stuff anymore.
Oh, it sounds great, man. Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, the idea of the. It's got the short, Stanley, that sound that he had.
Little tiny 11, yeah. It's great.
Like, I find short scale is a little unusual for, it's looser for the slapping. It's a bit of an adjustment, but for fingerstyle, I've just been really digging it. But
it's a good little bass, and that's all right. There we go. Series humbucker.
I mean, look, this instrument, and the L1 for me, it's kind of like my standard has always been sort of the P bass.
Sure.
And I love them.
It's a good thing.
And I've got a couple I like, and I toured with them for a long time, and really no complaints except for one of the things in a large, loud thing. Mm-hmm. This again, the MFD really just it's giving me it's a little more control. No, what's the word? It finds a spot in the sonic mix.
Yeah.
There's so much going on in my band. There's so many instruments on stage playing at the same time that the extra bit of clarity that comes off of this instrument really helps me out a lot.
I was going to say the MFD it's got a clean, but it's a good clean. It's not a piercing.
It's not sterile.
Yeah,
at
exactly.
All, but
it has a warmth
and
to
also
it.
like this whole bridge arrangement, the way the bridge sits in the body, it contributes a lot to just that note purity.
The girth.
Yeah, I mean, it's like each note has its own space or something like that, as opposed to just being like a
woof,
sort of
like
woof
wolf
thing. Yeah, I mean, it really gives the note. I don't know, I would say definition or
Sure.
something. I mean, of course it adds sustain, which I do everything I can to counteract with foam and flat mounts, you know, because I'm not really looking for the sustain.
Sure. But you can get it if you want it, which is nice. Yeah.
But it's there if you need it, yeah. And you know, it's better, I think, for me to take away some of that quality rather than look for something that just doesn't have it in the first place.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do that. I know friends playing these old, you know, import cheap, quirky basses from the '60s, the trash basses. That, and I have a few, you know, and I love them. And in certain situations, they work really well. They can, you know, in a studio, in a controlled environment. But again, live performance on a big stage with high volume, things change. You know, it's not like playing a club where you've got walls and you can hear, you know, hear my bass in the corner. It's like you're playing these larger venues at super high volume, and I'm finding that it's a lot more critical what goes into the amp than, say, like, you know, in a studio where you can get the vibe with the right microphone in a closed room with an amp in all by itself. There's, you know, so.
Well, and roadworthiness too.
Oh,
a lot of those old basses are going to have a little bit of bump them around a few times.
Exactly.
Wires. These are pretty roadworthy. It's crazy. You can beat the crap out of them, and
they're very solid.
They'll keep working. So we brought out this is one of our Fullerton Deluxe ones. Not your bass, but I brought it out because I wanted you to, you know, kind of talk about it, because this is kind of one of the L1000 kind of bread and butter bass for you, huh?
Oh yeah, totally. Well, I mean, again, like I said, I'm kind of been a P bass guy for a while, and to me, this does that and a lot more. Obviously, just the fact that there's a three-way switch gives you a certain advantage, but. You know, again, like just the construction, the pickup, the placement. I measured the coils once, and they are exactly in the same spot as a P bass. You know, of course, they're straight in a row instead of split. But yeah, you know, this thing does it's that the P plus anything else. I mean, so I'm very happy with these.
Yeah, Leo kind of nailed it with that.
And again, fully passive. You know, the range of what you can get out of this with no battery is pretty outstanding.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
So let's see. There's the hook.
And that was parallel, right?
Yeah, parallel. Yeah,
that's nice. Gives it a nice scoopy kind of.
It almost, you know, has that whiny sort of like it's like an icing on the top.
Yeah.
Like the brightness is there, but it's not like overpowering you. Single coil. OMG. But again, you know, finger style. mean, this does what I need.
The versatility of one pickup. Very nice.
yeah. I used to be a 2 pickup guy.
Yeah.
And for something changed, and now I'm like a 1 pickup guy. But
I love it.
Hey, look, you know what?
Yeah.
I'll play what I'll play. I'll play anything.
Yeah.
Really, but 1 or 2, but 3, nah.
No. Yeah. 3 pickups.
But
Come
this,
on.
if you get 1 pickup, this is like, for me, is like the perfect spot.
Yeah.
Well, I'm curious, when you guys did a short scale, like, did you decide, like, was the placement of this have anything to do on the fallout, anything to do with this?
I think
dimensions
relative to where the P pickup would be.
So you kind of like scaled it down.
Yeah,
so.
Relative to, and tried to get it right in the
yeah.
same spot. So yeah.
So it wasn't just random. It was
No,
like you
no.
kind of. Well, I guess it was like under a harmonic or something.
Yeah, something like I forget the exact spacing.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah. So relative to shrinky, move it.
Yeah.
So tried to keep it as close to that, because that seems to be a sweet spot. Leo got it right, man.
Yeah.
He got it right with the P, got it right with the J, got it right with the L1000. So yeah, man, dude, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, I hear it.
Where can people look for you, find you on the interwebs?
Well,
where you at?
I have my website is edfriedland.com, and I actually redid it this year. It had been sort of laying fallow for a few years, and I finally said, hey, you know what? This is getting embarrassing. So I have my website's redesigned, so it's up, and there's actually stuff on there that you can look at.
Yeah, we'll have people look at that, and then
YouTube is the Bass Whisperer channel.
Excellent channel, incredible.
Thank you.
Huge fan.
I did a few this year. I mean, being on the road full time kind of cut into all of the gear demo stuff that I used to do. But this past year I was home and I got a few things. Nice. I did a couple of demos on the Fallout and some other things that people have sent me. And well, what else do I have on Instagram? I'm Mr. Quarternote.
All right.
And of course, wherever the Mavericks are playing, that's where you're going to find me. So
yeah, come and look for them. We'll put all the links somewhere.
The Mavericks
somewhere.
I think it's the Mavericks.com or the Mavericks Mavericks.com or whatever.
Cool. And then, so right now it's August 16th, Monday. Where's your next gig? Obviously, this will come out in a few days, but you've got some dates coming up, right?
Well, in the future, Thursday we're playing. The 19th we're playing in Tucson, where I live, which is going to be fun.
Nice.
I get to sleep in my own bed for a night and play a show.
Cool. Very cool.
And then Scottsdale, we're coming back to LA. We're doing the Greek Theater with doing a bit. It's a big bill. We've been doing double bills with Los Lobos for the last run.
Oh, wow.
And they're great. I love seeing those guys.
Yeah,
but Los Lobos is on the show, and Ozo Motley. And then there's a couple of other bands that I'm not familiar with. Yeah. So that's at the Greek on the 21st. And,
wow. Nice.
And then, look, the rest of the year is really busy. I mean, we are scheduled to go, all through the U.S. We're not going overseas yet, but that's scheduled for next year.
2022.
And, so we're as of now we are scheduled to finish the year out with quite a few shows.
Yeah,
so
that's exciting.
Look for us near you.
Yeah. Well, we're excited to have you here, man, and obviously glad that you're safe. Family is safe.
Yeah,
and you're working. You're out there playing, and
we're doing it as best as we can.
That's all we can do. That's all we can do. So everybody, huge thanks, Ed Friedland, the Bass Whisperer, playing some badass basses, showing us some stuff, geeking out, nerding out. And the audience goes crazy. We bring it in. Ed, thank you, man. Really appreciate it, my friend.
Thank you, buddy.
Awesome, man. We'll see you guys soon.